Right, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about a situation where a TikToker has posted a video critiquing a clothing brand, and the owner of the clothing brand has allegedly sent out a cease and desist and a letter to the TikToker's boss to try and get them fired, is what the TikToker's saying here. Now, we're going to go through all the details, of course, in this video, but first, let me introduce you to who we're talking about. So there's two main people you need to be aware of. The first person being a TikToker called Please Don't Buy That, or Mallerie Brooks. We have spoken about a previous situation with Mallerie before regarding like Christmas pajamas, and Mallerie was calling out this brand. And we can see by Mallerie's bio on TikTok, it says apparel educator. So that is kind of like the theme of these videos. Mallerie will critique like clothing brands. So just off that, you could have probably guessed that the second person you'd be aware of here is the owner of a clothing brand. And the brand in question is Cycle Swim. This is their Instagram account right here. This is the website, so you can see some of the clothing that they do sell. So let's actually go back to the beginning of this situation, because there's quite a lot of videos we need to get through here. So the first video is actually unrelated to Cycle Swim, but you'll see why this is important in just a second. So the context of this video is that Mallerie had been critiquing another brand called Odd Moose, and someone had commented on one of her videos saying her factory literally received an A rating today, to which Mallerie then posted this video responding to the comment.
Or you just take what this woman says and just eat that shit up. A BSCI rating means nothing. That is baseline compliance. It's monitoring. It's not a certification. If she had a RAP certification for her factory, which is like up here compared to a BSCI audit, or she was SA 8000 certified, then I'd be like, okay, girl, like those are the gold standards in certification recognized worldwide. And
then Mallerie goes on further to explain how easy it is to get a grade A BSCI rating, and then also goes on to say that there's no way to prove this.
In a BSCI audit, okay, they say, hey guys, we're gonna come check out what's going on there in a couple weeks, okay? They get proper warning. And then here's what factory owners do, is they tell their workers, hey, those people are coming, you need to say XYZ. Not saying 100% that's what she does, but that happens in a lot of factories. If people want to keep their jobs, they're not going to snitch.
Okay, so that's the original video, and of course, like I said before, not actually talk about Cycle Swim at this point. This is where Cycle Swim do come into it, because they actually commented on this video. We can see the comment right here. It says, why are we in the culture when people think it's their job to publicly call someone out? Stay in your own lane. This is so uncomfortable to watch. Not your problem. If you don't like her fabrication, do not buy it. And then the comments kind of cut off here, but it does go on further to say something along the lines of spend time like working on yourself. And this is where the whole situation starts and somehow just gets worse and worse and worse, to the point where cease and desist is sent out. The owner of the brand is contacting Mallerie's boss. Like, it gets a lot worse, but let's start with this video.
What a disappointing comment. I literally had stuff in my cart from this brand. I was like, wow, this stuff is really cute. I was about to check out, and then she left this really insane comment. I guess maybe you feel called out by some of the things I'm saying within your own production, and you're projecting a little bit. That's kind of just the vibe I'm getting.
And then Cycle Swim went on further to say that Mallerie has been deleting the brand's comments. Mallerie responds to this saying they're not being deleted, they're just being filtered.
Hey love, I've never deleted your comments. TikTok filters them for bullying. Okay. See how that works? Yeah, I think my child's pretty proud of me. He's also 4. He really doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay, right, yeah, I mean, just from this comment alone, you can see where it starts to get, like, quite a bit more personal, right? Like, leaving this in the comments saying your child must be so proud. Mallerie responds to this part of the comment, and also responds to the part of the comment that says all natural fibers over here.
I think my child's pretty proud of me. He's also 4. He really doesn't know what the fuck is going on. But also I'm really confused. Natural fibers? You're using Reprieve, and that's cool. I totally support that, but it's polyester still. Reprieve is not a natural fiber. Why are you so rude?
And then this kind of all sparked Mallerie's first video going more into detail about the brand. So far, it's just been responding to the brand's comments, but then Mallerie makes another video saying that this owner is an example of how not to run a brand.
I would love to introduce you guys to Mrs. Charlie Bell, owner and founder of Cycle Swim. You may recognize her from my comments a couple weeks ago. She is genuinely a masterclass of an example as far as how not to operate an apparel brand. 1, because she greenwashes, and 2, because she exploits her children while doing so. So I thought we could go through a few things I would recommend to her if she were to hire me as a consultant for her brand.
So the context behind the exploiting children claim that Mallory is saying here is because Charlie uses her children on like social media and on the website to model the clothing. And you'll hear Mallory say throughout this video, like, are they being paid? Is there being money being put away for the children to model the clothing? Mallory then goes on further to say they should cut the shit with the sustainability claims.
I would also cut the shit with the sustainability because you're using Reprieve. Reprieve, if you don't know, is certified post-consumer waste bottles, plastic bottles, but you can't call them fully sustainable because it's still polyester, it's still plastic. They are still actively shedding microplastics into waterways, into the ocean. When you wear them in the ocean, when you wash them, they are causing active pollution. So the use of the word sustainable materials, etc. is greenwashing.
Then Mallory goes on to say what the brand should do if they want to claim sustainability.
If she wants to fully back the sustainability messaging to invest in using Reprieve with Cyclo technology, the Cyclo is going to make the polyester biodegradable and add some justification to using the word sustainable to describe the product.
And then ends the video by saying that the fact that Charlie is making these claims makes it seem like she doesn't know what she is talking about, and then also says that an owner of a brand shouldn't be leaving nasty comments.
I would also not go into the comment section of an industry expert and say that you only use natural fibers when you don't. It really makes it look like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a PR expert. I have never claimed to be a PR expert, but I would also recommend to not get in the comment section of my videos and say nasty, nasty things like this. The projection of your insecurities because you are a brand owner who's greenwashing brought all of this really negative attention to the brand. I could also get into more of the obvious things in regards to greenwashing the brand, like providing any kind of traceability or transparency within your fiber sourcing, within your factories you use, etc., etc.
Okay, so that's where we're at this point, right? A couple of videos responding to the comments that the brand left on Mallory's videos, and then Mallory's made this separate video kind of talking more about the brand. And then the very next video has a caption on screen that says, Charlie Bell, owner of Cycle Swim, tried to get me fired. And in this video, Mallory goes into details about how the CEO of the company that Mallory works for actually told Mallory that Charlie emailed her boss and basically tried to get her fired.
Miss Charlie Bell, owner of Cycle Swim, tried to get me fired this weekend. Jeez Louise, Charlie Bell, you have way too much time on your hands. The CEO of the company that I work for walked up to my desk this morning and he said, do you know a Charlie Bell? I said, yeah, why did she email you? He said, yeah. I said, trying to get me fired? He said, yeah. And then she tried to add me on LinkedIn, as a connection. I said, oh boy. Yeah, she is a mess. Miss Charlie Bell, I hate to break it to you, but me doing marketing for a construction company has nothing to do with my hobby of educating people about how to buy good quality clothes and brands that do unethical things on TikTok. That's just my hobby. It's my little side gig. I know you would think it's my full-time job because I'm so good at it, but it's not, just something I do.
And then we also hear Mallory say that Charlie said she was going to send legal documents to her place of work.
Tony mentioned that you were planning to send some kind of legal documents to the company I work for. I thought you went to law school. You're not very bright.
And then in the very next video, we see this actually happened.
It's actually so much worse than I thought. Charlie sent a cease and desist to me at my place of work. So that is harassing me at my place of work. She could have sent this to me personally.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say that is a bit of a baffling choice, right? Sending the cease and desist is one thing, but sending it to her place of work rather than just directly to her, I don't really understand. Obviously, Mallory's claims here is that Charlie is trying to get her fired, which I guess would make sense as to why she would send it to her place of work. Mallory does go on to respond to some of the claims that Charlie is saying in a cease and desist, which is basically defamation.
She says, I made a falsely alleged statement that you exploit your children. So you do. I have a picture and video of every single one of your children's faces. I know their names, I know their ages because you posted that. That is by definition exploitation. I'm so sorry to tell you that. They have been the face of your brand this entire time, even though, again, you very, very carefully remove yourself. So I find that super interesting.
Yeah, so this is something that Mallerie brings up a lot, is the fact that the children are the face of the brand, so they're posted all over the social medias and like the website and whatnot, but Charlie herself isn't like visible on the brand. Mallerie then goes on further to read the cease and desist and also says that she welcomes a lawsuit.
They're defamatory, blah, 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 cease and desist, remove and delete all false and defamatory statements, provide written confirmation within 7 days. Please, Charlie, Miss Charlotte Bell, please, Miss Charlotte Bell, I beg of you to file a lawsuit against me after you have now harassed me on the internet, at my place of work, made false statements about the sustainability and ethics of your brand, and by definition exploited your children on social media. I sincerely welcome a lawsuit against me for all of those things that I have very, very sound evidence of.
Now, I don't know if this is actually going to end up in a lawsuit. I believe the brand is like an Australian brand as well, so I would assume that Charlie is from Australia. That might be incorrect. But if that is true, I feel like that would make the whole legal proceedings a lot more complicated. Not impossible, but suing someone in America from Australia, again, would just make it a lot more complicated than it would be if they were in the same country. In the next video, Mallerie goes on to read the letter that her boss received from Charlie.
Hi, I wanted to reach out to you, business owner to business owner, in regards to one of your staff members. Firstly, I want to acknowledge that I appreciate that this is absolutely not your issue, but I will need to use my company address to send legal correspondence, and therefore I wanted to let you know beforehand. No, you don't. Literally nothing I did or said was a representation of the company I work for. I did not use their accounts. It was all my personal accounts on my personal time. So that's where you went wrong to start. But anyway.
Charlie then goes on to say that she's a qualified lawyer and will be taking legal action.
I am a brand owner who was recently sent a video that Mallerie Brooks had posted about myself, including a picture of myself online, my full name, and with the opening statement being that I exploit my children. This has been posted in the public domain. As a qualified lawyer, I will be taking action against her for this.
Charlie then says that Mallerie's videos are unhinged and it's all because Charlie wrote a comment on a video.
Her videos seem pretty unhinged. She has actively gone out of her way to do hours of research on someone that she does not know. Literally, Miss Charlie Bell, it took me maybe 30 minutes. Like, again, it's not that hard to find that information online. All of this was because I wrote a comment telling her to mind her own business when she was slating other business owners. You said a little bit more than that, Miss Charlie Bell. I had no idea who she was and just thought she was an online troll. I blocked her after this. Well, what am I? Am I an online troll or am I a Weenie Hut Jr.? Anyway.
And then Charlie ends the letter by asking Mallerie's boss how he would feel if this happened to him, and then also says that she would appreciate it if he didn't forward the letter to Mallerie, which, I mean, of course he did.
Oh my god. I just presumed she was a bit venomous and moved on with my life until I was sent this video. I appreciate that you are her boss and that this is not your problem, but she's representing your brand, and I urge you to appreciate how you would feel if a video of this nature was made about yourself. I have a large following on LinkedIn, and in no world would I ever dream of sharing someone's pictures and posting such a venomous review about them. I'd appreciate it if this email was not forwarded onto her, as this is now in my lawyer's hands, and she will hear from them in due course.
So listening to this, it seems like Charlie's claims are, first of all, Mallerie using a picture of Charlie throughout the video. Charlie does say in this that she has a large following on LinkedIn that does have her picture on it, but I will be blurring the picture throughout this just because I've had a few videos being removed from YouTube for using a public picture of someone in this situation. It's very easy for people to get videos taken down and have a picture of them, it seems. But also listening to all of this, it seems like Charlie's biggest claim that she has a problem with is the fact that Mallerie has posted videos saying that Charlie has been exploiting her children by having them be the face of the brand, as Mallerie says. Now, in a separate video, Mallerie goes on to say that it wasn't just this individual letter. Apparently, a bunch of people that Mallerie works with all received different letters.
She sent multiple emails to multiple different people in my company. They got specialized letters, based on their positions. relative to me.
And then in another video, Mallerie shows a DM which is allegedly from Charlie. You silly, silly woman, bad news. My legal team put in notices to TikTok against every post you've done with my picture on it. Those images belong to me. You took those photos without my permission. Whether or not they were publicly available is completely irrelevant. They belong to me under copyright law. What was really frustrating was TikTok told my legal team that we needed 4 strikes on you to get you removed from the platform. You've just given me my 4th. Good luck getting out of your moldy basement when this can't get taken down when my lawyer puts in the 4th case against your account. Then it's hard to kind of read the rest, but Mallerie does read it herself.
Let's hope no one posts, and then it says, pictures of my son's name on my public Facebook.
Now, we'll be honest, my first impression when I saw this comment was, this has to be a fake account, right? Because, I mean, it would be very silly, ironically, as apparently Charlie has said in this DM, to just send a DM like this to someone as an owner of a business and you know for a fact it's probably going to get posted. Especially with it being a pretty strongly worded message, right? Mallerie has said in the comment section, in fact, actually replied to someone who says this has to be someone trolling you, and Mallerie said, oh no, it's confirmed her. Now, obviously, I don't personally know if it is 100% Charlie, right? It is an account with like 3 followers. Mallerie saying it is, so take that how you will. And now for the most recent video regarding this situation. This was uploaded 16 hours ago as I'm recording this video. Mallerie goes on further to say that Charlie has been doxing Mallerie's children in like DMs to people.
I have unfortunately had a lot of people now message me to tell me that Mrs. Charlie Bell is doxing my son over private DMs. So yes, I know it's happening. I ask that you please just don't engage with it. Obviously that's her intention with doing so.
And then we hear that Charlie is apparently saying to these people that Mallerie doxed Charlie's children first, to which Mallerie says she would never do.
She's also telling people that I have doxed her children, which one is impossible because she's fully doxed them online herself with their names, ages, faces, etc. But I would never do that. Any picture, video I have shared that contains them, I have completely blurred out their face twice. So, I mean, all those videos are tagged below if you want to go look at them. But yeah, I, again, ask you keep his identity private for his safety, for my safety, and because it's just what all children are deserving of.
So yeah, that's kind of the most recent update, a situation that has just got wilder the further we went through it. It started off with a couple of videos responding to a couple of comments left in the video, and it just got worse and worse and worse the further we went through. I can't see a public response from C-Cycle Swim or Charlie or anything like that. They've still kind of just carried on posting on social media, nothing to do with the situation. And who knows where it goes from here. Obviously, we're hearing that Charlie's apparently threatening legal action, but with it being an Australian brand, I'm assuming Charlie being from Australia, I think that would be pretty complicated. Maybe they will go through with it, maybe they won't. I guess time will tell. But either way, I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Also, if you're interested in some other content, me and Emily have a channel where we play games, react to reality shows, stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that, that's always linked in the description. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.